praise your name, you're worthy, God. None like unto you, oh. You're so excellent in all your ways. We trust in you, oh God. We'll wait for you. You're mighty God, my mighty God. You're the healer of all lands. Almighty God, you're the healer of all hearts. Deliver us from every plan of the enemy, oh God. We praise you, Lord. You hold us in your hands. You hold us in your arms. You hold us under your wings. And we are safe, oh God. And we are safe. That's why we praise you. That's why we lift your name high. That's why we glorify you. For there is none like you. There is none like you. Lord, there's none like you. You are excellent in all your ways. You are truthful in all your ways. Thank God there's none like you. Oh, there's none like you. We worship you. We worship you. We lift our hands to you. We say thank you, Abba Father, Abba Father. Lord, we come before you.
Nigeria.
You know our hearts, oh God. You know our hearts, Lord. We want to glorify you. We want to exalt you. Been so kind. You've been so merciful. Oh, surely goodness and all your mercies, they are following day and night. Oh Lord, your mercies. Think about your goodness. Think about your presence. Think about your mercies. You surround us. Lord, you are surrounding us. Your angels surrounding us. Lord, we are protected. Oh, from the darts of the enemy. From the darts of the enemy. Lord, you are protecting us. Oh, you are protecting us. No weapon formed against me. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. No, 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 prosper.
Don't give up on me yet.
From you are all things.
Still working on
all things. You You're worthy of it all. For from you are
Wow.
All right. My dear fellow listeners and viewers, good evening once again, and welcome to another edition of the Dr. Narine Dat Show. For those of you who have watched us and listened to us in the past will know that the whole idea of the show is to create a safe space for positive energy and mutual respect. And that's exactly what we are going to do here this evening. Our guest this evening is no other than Sherridean. So, Sherridean, welcome to the show. How are you doing this evening?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing fantastic. Just totally honored to be back and to be able to talk with you. I appreciate the work that you're doing, releasing all the positive energy there. The world, we need it. We need it.
Well, we bring another positive energy here, so we'll have lots of positive things to talk about, that for sure. So what we'll do, it's been a while since we've had you. Obviously, we've had you on our old show, so we are
Yeah,
rebranding, as you may know. So take the opportunity and kind of reintroduce yourself back to folks so that they kind of know who you are. And now we're going to dive into things, in terms of what you've been doing and so much more.
yeah.
So take it away, introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Sherridean Carmichael, and I'm an instrument, the word's not coming,
Yeah,
but
take
I'm
your
an
time.
inspirational fine art fine artist. And, my heart really is to create works of art that will inspire hope, encouragement, and to create a safe space where persons can come sit down and enjoy art. Since the last time we spoke, I've started an art gallery and also started an art group, um, Creative Kingdom Creatives Art Fellowship. So it's about creating that safe environment where artists can come together. My life really is about making it better.
Mhm,
Sometimes you go through tough times in life and it positions you with the approach that I want to use my life, my times, my moment
mhm,
to make it better for others. Because once we link and connect with our purpose, there's so much more we can attain. And you'll find at the foundation of my art, I'm very faith-based,
mhm,
because I know of the power of God's goodness and his mercies. And even as we celebrate the month of mental health, you
mhm,
know that he's the one that helps us heal. He's the one that helps us become resilient and turn pain into what a story where you can encourage and brighten some other person's life. And I think art is a fantastic way of doing it, whether it is through colors, through therapeutic art. I enjoy working in that line.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. How about family
Yeah.
wise? You have a family, you have I believe a husband, kids and whatnot, right?
Right, yeah, because since we talked, I got married last year in
Oh, hmm,
August.
hmm,
Yeah, and my children that was small then, they're now what, young adults.
yeah.
I'm in their 20s. So yes, I do have a family and I'm really grateful to God for that. It's a blessing. And talk about restoration, having gone through loss and everything. And now it's like I believe I have a second chance at life. So that's why I'm really committed to making the best of it and maximizing every moment and sharing the goodness.
Lovely. And can you share with us, or to the folks in particular, which country you are in right now?
I'm in Barbados.
You're in
My
Barbados.
accent might sound a bit of Trinidad. I grew up in Trinidad. I left Barbados when I was about 1 year and a half,
Hmm.
and then I returned when I was 19. And I still have the accent, but right now I am in Barbados and a
You are.
Barbadian.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I just thought I ask you to share. So that's awesome. So, I mean, you have always been passionate about the arts, the visual
Yeah,
arts and all of that, and you've kind of using it for the right purpose and you've kind of spreading it around, if you know what I mean. You're doing it professionally, by the way, which is such a beautiful thing because I always say that if you can do something that you love and get paid for it, it's like an extra blessing.
true.
And you are doing that, which is amazing. Where did that love came from? How did it get started for you to a point where you're actually making it a thing, not only as a profession, but you're spreading it and you're trying to, engage people with it and so much
Uh-huh.
more.
I think art for me went back to my childhood. No matter what I do. I was always sketching or drawing or playing music, something I was always doing. And, I went on to do CXC, then professional training in the arts, art education, and art as a fine artist. I did all of that. But I think the turning point came for me in about a few years back, having gone through a traumatic experience,
Mm-hmm.
and art was the way I rediscovered myself.
Mm-hmm.
Art was the way. I remember I was talking with someone, and at that point I felt like I was stuck. I wasn't painting, I couldn't express. And something she said, probably you don't want to paint because you're not feeling the beautiful colors. But if you paint from where you're at, you never know. And
Mm-hmm.
I started painting from where I was. And I mean, the colors were not too pretty, but I felt good. I was able to let out what I was feeling on the canvas, and I still have it up to now as
Mm-hmm.
a testimony. And so I continued working. And then a few years after that, I really saw how in a session, a therapeutic session, I went on to study that. So I'm an art coach, therapeutic art coach. And I saw how exposing women to art, they were able to express what they were feeling in ways that they were not able to articulate. And when I saw tears flow and I saw the power that art has, it got my attention. And it further escalated during the COVID season, where, people, they said that was around the highest time
Mm-hmm.
where, people were depressed and anxious and all of that. And it was then I got the opportunity to exhibit twice at an international gallery. And the purpose for those shows that I was invited to was to encourage persons at that time. And I just began to work it from there. Then in 2023, when I had the opportunity to have my own art studio and gallery, I had my first show, yes, it was great. I had sales, everything. But after the show, part of me was like, this is not for you alone.
Mm-hmm.
Bring others along. And I always believe you can appreciate a solo, but when you have a whole choir singing with harmony and singing different parts, the message is amplified. So I
Mm-hmm.
began to search for artists of like mine,
Mm-hmm.
and we began working together. And as a group, we are the Creative Arts Fellowship, and we're on Instagram. And we've had a big exhibition. Actually, this is the last week of the exhibition, and the
Wow.
response has been so wonderful. And so my desire right now is to use it as a tool of expression to help
Mm-hmm.
humanity, to help to make a difference. You know, I see art as a bridge between past and present, art as an opportunity to express. And, sometimes even when I am doing, like I was doing a course helping out some young persons, and I was saying, oh, it's time to wrap up. And one of the young ladies said, wow, this is so relaxing. And that's the joy I have through using art as a tool, touching lives, young people, person who went through divorce, grieving. Art has been just that way of linking and connecting to that healing process.
Excellent. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for that. So, what would you say? So, when you wake up in the morning, let me put it this way: when you wake up in the morning, what drives you to get out of bed?
What drives me is my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have the mandate to all connecting with living my life in such a way that it can be a blessing. Um, being a teacher, head of department, and working with other artists, it's like I am inspired to do what I was born for. And I guess what makes it even more exciting, I'm not just doing it for me. I get my own pleasure and benefits. You feel good, you feel very fulfilled, but to be able to contribute in an area that is your favorite, something that is close to your heart, I don't think there's anything better than that. And about, being able to give God thanks for sparing my life and using it. I'm always asking him, what can I do so that I can be better and others can be better as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. Fantastic. So if I'm not mistaken, you also teach this in the school system, am I correct? Like
Yes, I
arts?
have been for 35 years.
Oh my goodness.
I love
Oh,
how
I
you
did not
said that.
realize. I did not
Yeah,
realize it's been that long.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Amazing, amazing.
yeah.
I'm very,
Yeah.
oh my goodness. So you definitely have a passion with it. So how does it, I'll try my best to ask you this question. So for me, I'm creative in my own way. We all are creative in our own way. And I
Mm-hmm,
usually visualize certain things and I want it a certain way and things of that sort. Do you have
mm-hmm.
moments where all kind of things floating into your head and you want to kind of, put it like on paper, so to speak, in simple language?
Yes. I think artists just by nature, your
Mhm,
brain is always going,
mhm,
is always shooting to the here and beyond. What I do recognize is that for every idea that is shooting around, it needs time, it
mhm,
needs preparation, and you need to put things in place to make sure that it is done. So what I started to do the last couple of years is at the end of every, let's say 3 months or term, we call it here, I will
mhm,
pause and find out, and just listen quietly. And I will always ask, Lord, what do you want me to do now? So you'll find like last year around this time, I was releasing songs, but this time around, I'm more coaching other artists, young artists, emerging
mhm,
artists. And
mhm,
so I've just completed a retreat, actually, a 1-day retreat with a good friend. And with this retreat, is about training and mentoring artists to walk in boldness, to walk in confidence, to present themselves as artists, and also to share with them the kingdom blueprint for artists. So it's a faith-based event. So I am always, you're loaded with ideas, but then you have to, as you said, take note of them and
mhm.
determine which ones you're going to follow up on. And there, I
Awesome.
believe you get the fulfillment because you can put thought into it, gather resources, whatever is needed, plug
Mhm.
it in and see it work and see it come to life.
So looking back 35 years ago, right? That's a long time. How
Yeah.
has things changed for you and evolved as it relates to the arts?
Um, that's a good question. Let's say when I just got into the teaching system, I was more about teaching the art,
Mhm,
just being able to, you know, do the job right.
mhm,
But over the years, even though I'm an art teacher, I find that you're doing more than teaching art. You in there, you're creating impact by the way you live your life, the kindness you exude. You're in a position where you can give students tips in terms of finding themselves in the area of
mhm,
art.
mhm,
What career should they take? Sometimes they're trying to asking these questions, and I always relate my stories. It's like I always like teaching leaves. They laugh at me, but that's how I started. I was
mhm,
teaching leaves, and if not teaching leaves, I was beating drums on paint pan and singing. If I wasn't
mhm,
doing that, I was creating art. And
mhm,
today in my life, I'm living all. So it's like pay attention to the children you're teaching, what they really enjoy, what they like doing, and I pass that information on. So it's from moving on, I find now I'm more not just teaching them art as a subject to get through with their exams, but now
mhm,
I'm teaching them art to help them get into a career whereby I will spend extra time in terms of how they present themselves, even how they use their social media as a form as advertisement and getting a touch of, putting out their artwork out there, helping them the way they talk about work of art so that they can express it and be able to defend in the sense of answer questions if they are asked. So yeah, and I think I keep repeating it, but one of the fulfilling moments is to look at one of our past students, and she was able to win a national scholarship. She
mhm.
went overseas and she studied architectural art, and then a few years back she went on TED Talk and talking about architectural studies and how it is adapted in the Caribbean region against, the hurricanes, etc. So it's a fulfilling, experience to be able to prepare students for the real world. Being, I guess, it pays to be not just an art teacher, but you're a practicing artist. So I was able to link that. And I think my students, a lot of them, they have expressed that appreciation. So it's like you're walking and guiding them along the journey. So it's a very
Amazing.
fulfilling journey.
Fantastic. And you have the passion for this, no question about that. So if I heard you correctly, that was one of your students that kind of went on to be accepted with a scholarship and then went to do the TED Talk.
TED Talk, Alicia. Yeah, Alicia. Just trying to remember her surname, but Alisa Gibbons.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So
Alisa Gibbons.
yeah. So you're probably very proud of that too, right? Because you're part of their
Very much
journey for
so.
sure.
Yeah, and the students, they don't forget you. They come back, they let you know how they're doing.
Hmm.
And when I got the link and I saw that, I was so, felt so proud of her um, to be able to persevere and to make it big out there away from your own homeland. That's
Hmm.
absolutely wonderful. And that's what we have as teachers. We have that opportunity to help position children to impact something positive in their lives so that they have a greater sense of confidence, as they move forward. Yeah,
Great. So just hang in right there. So my dear
sure.
fellow listeners and viewers, for those of you who just tuned in, I just want to remind you that you're watching, listening to Dr. Narine Dat Show. Let me take this opportunity to say hello to a few people. I want to give a special hello to John from Queens. He's the one usually put our repeats on YouTube and so many other things as well too. So thank you, John. Thank you for taking a sneak peek here. Thank you for supporting what we do. Lalita, thank you so much. Leon, thank you for supporting our initiative and thank you for all that you do as well. Stella, we want to say hello to you and we appreciate the fact that you join us here. Um, I'm not able to see everybody, but whoever I can see, I will acknowledge. Naresh, I want to say hello, and I believe Kevin was watching as well at some point. Where are we watching from, Duna? We appreciate you guys. I also want to remind you that there are a few different ways to listen to us. You can listen to us in the regular dial. That's the radio, 102.7 CKMS FM. You can also listen to us on Rogers, a digital cable for those of you who have the Rogers digital box on channel 946. And of course, we are live streaming our interview here. So by all means, please take the opportunity to share our page. So now back to the interview. So why did you get into teaching in the first place? Because for me, teaching is such of a special thing because teachers, they have that, I guess I use the word privilege here, to really mold, individual to be the best version of themselves and, things of that nature. Why did you get into this, much needed field?
Well, honestly, to me, it was a spiritual journey getting
Mhm,
into this
mhm,
area. I guess from very young, I had a sense of purpose. Had a sense of, whatever I do, I wanted it to be something that I enjoyed.
mhm,
And I guess for me, growing up in an environment where we are always encouraged to find your area and to go in it, that's
mhm,
exactly what happened for me. As I remember, in terms of the teaching of the leaves,
mhm,
and beating the pan and all of that, that was prompting me in the direction so that by the time I completed my studies, I know when I completed my CXC, I knew, and it was something that I was praying about, and the conviction was strong. Pursue that, pursue that. And
mhm,
immediately I went on to pursue um, art education. And it's interesting, my intention was really to start off doing my fine arts degree,
mhm,
but at that time it was not available. But because of art education now, you're not just exposed to the fine arts, but now you're taught how to pass on that
mhm.
information at
Yeah.
different age groups. And I believe this it was a divine thing, and what made it more meaningful, because when I work with children and even with adults, You're able to give them guidelines, and it's always fantastic. I remember teaching at the Sherridean Teachers Training College, and I was working with a group of adults, teachers, and they say, Ma, I haven't done art for so long. I don't know, but see what you can do. And I
Mhm.
said, okay, just give me a few minutes. And then I just walk them through some exercises. Man, by the end of our course, they were like so proud of their work. One or two
Mhm.
went and got it professionally framed. Even after the exhibition, they weren't leaving until they walked with their art. So this art education program really positioned me to teach the subject from a schematic point of view and developing the right methodology and so on. So education became my desire and my
Mhm.
interest
Mhm.
and part of the program in terms of curriculum planning, where you can design a curriculum according to the art expectations.
Mhm.
And that's grand because now I can design programs for any exercise. I've just started what you call the Blueprint for Kingdom Artists, and I design a curriculum now that will help faith-based artists develop their gifting from a biblical point of view. So being a teacher, being called for it, I think I'm graced for it. And I always encourage people, go in the area where you know you're graced for it. Many times
Mhm.
I said it at Earthstand, if you know you don't love children, walk away
Mhm.
because they're going to be rough days, tough times. And if you don't have the right spirit, you can cause hurt, you can frustrate children, and they will regret even doing the subject that you're teaching. We don't want that. I think children coming up deserve to have the best exposure to adults, deserve to have the right knowledge and information that will build them up so that they can move on confidently in life. So yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah,
As you speak and as I listen to you, you speak with such of a passion for the work you do. It really aligns with the posts that you really share on social media and things of that sort because I read,
yeah,
these things as well. And it's connecting just by you speaking, right? And it's such a
yeah,
beautiful thing. Because at the end of the day, if you have passion for what you do, one, you enjoy it, but obviously you will have, better outcome and impact and things of that sort. So how are the student over the years enjoying your way of putting forward, the art form to them? And this is not
Well,
you being biased. This is you sharing your own experience.
um, well, what I would do, I'll share with you. I was working with one of my past students, and he
Mhm.
is now a member of the Creative Arts Fellowship. And it's only when I was doing that interview with him that I recognized his perspective of me coming through the program. And one of the things he said, he appreciated the way I carried myself as an artist. I always believe to carry yourself in a positive light and
Mhm.
as though you're progressive. Because, the old stereotype that artists have to be struggling, I don't prescribe to
Mhm.
that. I believe that we should intentionally put ourselves in position to
Mhm.
thrive,
Yeah.
right? It is a very lucrative career, one that is very honorable, and this is something that we should always work towards. And he was inspired by that, by my nature, my care, and my patience, and being able to teach them fundamentals and work with them and follow up just the way I carried my aura, he said,
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
aura. And I know with me, I'm a loving person. I love to love.
Mhm.
I love to care. And when whatever I'm doing, I put my heart into it, you
Mhm.
know, and I always remember as you asked me that, I remember because I had a very wonderful teacher, I never forgot his name, Mr. Michael Gaspard.
Mhm.
And I remember I failed one subject when I was doing my CXC, failed math. And it's because of that I went back to repeat to do math, but I couldn't do that alone. So I had to fill up the timetable. And one of the subjects I got to do was art. So I did art in 1 year, and he said, "Okay, I'm going to try with her. I'm going to try with her." And after 2 weeks, they started calling me boss when I completed my SBAs. He looked at me, he didn't say a word. He said, come, follow me. He carried
Mhm.
me to the principal, you know, and I never forgot what she said. She said, you'll go very far in art. And I thank God for her. She released those positive words. But his life, where he was very supportive and gave me the environment and made the environment comfortable for me to, acquire the skills and the information at that short period. And I also remember Trevor Chase. When he recognized my gifting, he made room and he gave me the first professional paintbrush, canvas, you name it. So these are persons that made an indelible mark on my life. So therefore, I wanted to do the same thing. The same way I appreciate it. What you want for yourself, you give to others. And if we live by that rule, I think we'll make this world a better place. So, just my personality and what I do and my passion for the art, they really enjoy that. And the other part they talk about, because I'm a professional artist, I'm into the art as well. They're seeing my work on social media, they're seeing when I am getting awards, etc. It makes art look good to see. So, yeah,
Fantastic.
those combination.
Yeah. And I want you to know as we are speaking here,
Uh-huh.
you are making some connection with folks because folks are sending me arts that they've done on their own and so forth. This is just our viewers and listeners, so
Serious.
they're kind there, yes. And so
Wow.
I might share one or two during the program here, or at least before the end. And so
Great.
what I'm trying to tell you and remind you that
Mhm.
your time, your commitment for what you've been doing over the years and your time to join us here today, it's a beautiful thing. I want you to know that, right?
Thank you so much.
So I will, and because you talk about arts, somebody share an art piece with me here, and so I will try
Mm-hmm.
to share that here.
Yeah.
And thank you by the way, and we will identify the persons of you in a minute here, but I want to make sure that I'm able
Mm-hmm.
to kind of get it up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, so what I'll do, I'm gonna share this piece of art
Yeah.
because it's kind of connecting to.
Yeah.
So this is so this is a piece of the art that the person just sent. They drew
Mhm.
on their door, so you can see it here, right?
Wow.
Right, and so that's their way to kind of Thank you for sharing this, by the way. And this is
Yeah.
a former guest of ours who have
And
been
it's
on the
on a
show.
door.
It's on a
You see,
door.
that's the beauty. That's the beauty of art there, where you can put in the things that you like. And I love
You
the
know, the only
colors
yeah.
that she used. Yeah.
hmm
The
So the
colors
only
that
one
she
mistake,
used.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only one mistake I made here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is from Ibani. Thank you, Ibani. The only mistake I made is that
Ivani.
I didn't ask her permission if I could share it,
Oh,
but I hope you forgive me for this, Ibani. But do know that I automatically thought it was important to share it, and I don't think you mind that. You've
yeah.
done a really good job and really great work here.
Yeah.
So we are
Yeah.
sharing it to the world here. So look at it as a good thing. And if this is not what you wanted, you will have to forgive me for this here. But amazing work. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
stop this here. Yeah, so what I was saying is that
Mhm.
all the guests that we have here, they have something to offer, and you have unique skill set and experience and all that I do. We all do. But the thing is that you're sharing yours with such of a passion because you have passion, for what you do, which is amazing. And it goes to show that for me, the fact that I just shared that, I don't think it's a coincidence, right? Because
True.
it's
True.
not a coincidence. Yeah, it's not a coincidence at all.
I don't believe in coincidence at all.
Exactly. So I like that how we were able to kind of connect. So thank you again, Abani, for sharing that. Yeah. So I mean, so what's your thought on that art? You've been in this thing for like 25 years. Seeing something like that, what comes to mind for you when you notice somebody put the effort to
Yeah.
kind of draw on their door? That's something they will see, day in, day out and things of that sort.
I think that is absolutely phenomenal that they will be confident enough to put what it is they're feeling on the inside, to be able to interpret what they like and show it to the world. And so often persons may hide what they create because they think is not good enough. I always say, once it's an expression of the heart and the soul, celebrate it.
Mhm.
When you are able to put to visual placement on a surface what you're feeling on the inside and you bring it out, celebrate it. Just doing that is such a rewarding experience. And I believe that is why she showed it because the
Of
colors and
course.
how the colors go back with the flowers, it complements. And those playful contrasting images in there, it's good. And I always tell people we all have that creativity in one way or the other. For one, it might be drawing. For one, it might be the way you place furniture around in your room. And you might be taking it for granted. Oh, I just like to, freshen up things. But there's creativity being expressed there. And you need to follow up on that. My thing is, don't, because of life and how busy can get, don't shelve it, but work with it as
Mhm.
small as you can. And I spend a lot of my time at CAF encouraging persons, get back to your art. It is part of your DNA. It is who you are. So there's such
Mhm.
fulfillment when you tap into that. And that's what
Yeah.
I'm feeling that we need to really explore what gift we have on the inside. And don't compare. If you look at art history and the different movements, there's such a wide, you know, I would say portfolio of styles and textures and colors and ways of expression. And you can find your own, create your own. Art is a personal language. Use it, you know? Yeah,
Definitely, for sure. So I want to kind of add as well that I got permission to share it. So I'm glad that
good,
that's kind
good,
of
good
worked
for
out well.
you.
So that's awesome. So that's great. And you brought up something so important. And I always think along that line as well too. I only compete with myself. I always like
Mhm.
the idea of kind of advancing things for myself and that personal growth and all of that and maximize my own potential. And the fact that you mention and you remind folks the importance of not comparing yourself, because the bottom line is that everybody is at different place. And we can get specific to the arts as well too. So let's say somebody who's been doing it for 35 years like yourself, I cannot compare yourself with
Yeah,
myself, for example, right? Because I don't have those kinds of years of experience, and I never will have 35 years of experience. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
And so, but it's never for me. It's never we are never. It's never too late to start anything. You're never too
No,
young or young or old to start anything.
agreed.
And I think once you think along that line, as long as you are having some sort of joy and and happiness and contentment doing what you do and so forth, it makes
Hmm.
such a huge difference. And at the workplace, I work in mental health thing and other stuff too. But now I see therapists they're incorporating arts therapy more
Yeah,
into their work, especially as it relates to grief. And so as we speak right now, we do have we have a grief program going on, and
uh-huh.
they said to me that they want to incorporate more arts into the sessions, and
Way to go.
I will never doubt the work of the therapists, because they're the one, kind of doing,
Yeah,
the front work and meeting with clients per
yeah,
se. And so the fact that you're mentioning arts and so forth, I think it's so nice that you are as well. Not that I
yeah.
had any doubt with stuff in any shape or form, but the fact that
Hmm.
you're mentioning it here, the decision I made to support it, I feel
Yeah.
more confident about that too. So
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
great.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
this is
But I
amazing. Good.
find I've
Hmm.
worked with psychologists,
Hmm.
and there were times when the clients just didn't know how to express. They know they were feeling stuff, but they weren't
Hmm.
sure what they were feeling on the inside.
Hmm.
And then while they were creating the work, and I was able to examine it, I said, look, this person here is feeling lonely, right? And I remember one when we were working on a particular project. She was asking the others to come help her hold the butterfly wing. She was making it out of clay. And the way she moved and expressing, I say, you know what? That is what she wants. She
Hmm.
wants to establish herself, but she feels alone and she needs proper, let's say, good people around her that will support her. And when I said it and she heard it, she just started to cry. She
Oh
said,
wow.
you were like the fly on my wall because you heard me. No,
Hmm.
your art said it. Your art said it. And I remember too, I have permission on this one. Few years back when my son's dad passed away. And I decided, well, you know what? Let me give them what I know. So I just bought art materials and, give it to him. I just create, just express what you're feeling on the inside. And I never forgot, he drew a plane on the runway, but the plane had only one wing. I want to recognize that, I asked him, so why the plane only has one wing? He said, because I feel like my dreams are broken. All the things I wanted to do with my dad, it cannot take off. It cannot happen. But he was able to articulate that as we started talking about the plane. You understand? So art
Absolutely.
has a way of selling you out, as it were. And I remember a therapist, she came to one of the sessions and she said, I know what to do to hide what I feel and not to present yourself as this kind of person. She said, but when I started to look at my art, I started to see some things that I was hiding. I said, yeah, that's what art does. You cannot hide once you start to relax and you release it on the canvas, you begin to know what it is you're really thinking. So it complements, both can work together so that when you find out what is the need now, it goes back to the psychologist, and he's able to create pathway to help them, restore.
Fantastic. So, I mean, we will have you back on the show. We have a few minutes more, of course. But when you're not doing arts, I mean, Mika, this is what you do, day in, day out, right? You have a passion for it. You have a class, all these types of things. When you're not doing any sort of art and so forth, what is it that you do with your extra time? And I know that's probably a kind of weird question because nobody has extra time these days, especially when you have children and so forth. But you got my point,
I think, well, when I'm not, doing that, I'm more with my family. I enjoy family. And now, as I mentioned, recently married, so I spend good time there. And then I like to go off on my own from time to time, just go with nature.
Yeah.
Sit down, I'll read my Bible, just relax. So I find myself doing more of that, thinking. Sometimes I end up planning, but I try to keep it more on a relaxing mode.
More
So
relaxing
that's
mode.
what
I
I
like that.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to try to keep things sometimes on a relaxing mode as well because I keep going all the time,
Especially when I tell my, when you're pouring out all the time,
Yeah.
you need to pause so that you can be poured into. Why you
Absolutely.
love life, why God, all these things I just rehearse on my mind. And when I'm feeling like, you're getting full and you're back to self-centered, you go back there. But if you keep pouring out of the little you have, sometimes it causes you to feel frustrated, even though it's something you love. So the same way you make time for people, make time for you. And when you make
Of
time for you, you
course.
can make time for more,
You
you
got
know?
it.
Yeah,
And on that note, I want to remind ourselves here that it is so important to put ourselves first. And I think you've said it in a different way. I guess
yeah.
what you're saying is that yes, it's okay to pour out and it's okay to give and so forth. But we want to make sure that we're not forgetting ourselves because at the end of it all, we cannot feed off from empty bucket kind of thing, right?
Thank you.
So yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. That's important.
Regardless of how good the cause is,
Yeah,
make
definitely.
time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the things I have done, started this year in January, and I've been very consistent with it, and I'm so excited. As I keep doing it, I
Mm.
go to the gym, and
Ah.
I
Mm-hmm.
do it consciously, and I find that automatically now. I'm doing like a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of research now and things of that sort, to see what makes sense for me, you know what I mean, things of that
Right,
sort
right.
on all of that. That is amazing. How
Mm-hmm.
a difference it makes, and
Mm-hmm.
things of that sort. So yeah,
Invigorating.
yes, and the fact that you are mentioning all of that here, I think it's amazing too to hear. Even though I
Yeah.
know all of that, it's nice to hear it too, right? Because
Well,
sometimes
we
we
need
tend to
reminders
we
sometimes.
all do need the reminders, that for sure.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what can we? I mean, I know yeah, you're a positive person. It shows, and all of that. But apart from all of that, like what can we expect from you in terms of maybe new project that you're working on, things of that
Mhm.
sort? I know you've started a few new, in arts
Yeah,
initiative recently, which is awesome.
yeah,
Or what exciting are you kind of working on now that you're willing to share with us?
yeah, sure. What I'm working on now is the
Hmm.
Creatives Arts Fellowship,
Hmm.
where I am looking to connect with faith-based artists from the Caribbean all around. It's a global event.
Hmm.
We offer mentorship, we offer training, and we offer a space whereby work can be exhibited. So
Hmm.
I'm just working with that, and it's really exciting to see how the artists come together. I do mentorship online as well. So my new program is the Blueprint for
Hmm.
Kingdom Artists,
Hmm.
where I'm giving you guidelines both in the art, both in theory as well as theory, along with a biblical perspective. So you are tying your art with a greater sense of purpose.
Hmm.
When I'm not, the other project I'm working on is the art gallery, where we are currently wrapping up our exhibition. We are in the heart of the town or the capital of Barbados. So we're in a position whereby we can create a space where persons can come. So I'm always promoting that. I think our biggest project right now, having completed our retreat, is the Gospel Fest. Gospel Fest, so this is a 33-year-old program
Hmm.
festival that repeats annually. And we have now just become partners with Gospel Fest so that the CAF community, they will be able to express and exhibit their work for the major events that they're having. And this is a big deal because you find in many communities, they have arts and dance and
Hmm.
theater and everything, but the visual aspect has been left out. So finally, the
Hmm.
visual arts will be on the map for this year, and we're looking forward to contribute in a fantastic way.
And
Yeah.
what's the name of the event again?
The Gospel
Yeah,
Fest.
yeah, that's interesting. So
Yes.
is it targeting, like, the name for me, it looks like it's targeting young people, or that's just a
It's
branding
of
of it?
course
A
different
call,
age
yeah,
group. We have
different age
different
group. Okay,
events. You have hymn speak, you
okay,
have laughter and
okay.
jazz,
Hmm.
one awesome gospel, and
Hmm.
that's a day we go up to Farley Hill for concerts. So we will have a tent there, and in
Hmm.
that tent we'll have varied artists and their work on scene, on site. So we're really looking to encourage nationally people to believe and have faith in God because we believe that we are the salt of the earth and the light. So we giving out positive vibes there to remind
Hmm.
people that there's hope. There's hope
Yes, hope,
in the midst of all
especially
the
now.
changes. Yeah,
Especially
especially
now, right?
now.
Now, right?
Especially now.
We live in a very different era. If people really pay keen attention, we live in a very
Yeah,
different era, that
yeah,
can cause a lot of confusion, especially for the younger people, right? Because
that
you,
is it.
because we live in a digital world, so people see all kind of different things and mixed messaging and all of these types of
That
things.
is it. That
So
is
it's
it.
nice. So it's nice that you have program as such, right? That
Yeah,
kind of ground people back to reality and to real
grounding.
life and all of that, right? So
Yes,
that's
yes.
amazing kind of
And
thing. Yeah, that's
community
great.
and exchange. That's important.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So let's say you have folks who are watching, like we, as you see, we have folks watching and they're connecting with the arts and they're sharing, you know. So let's say you
Mm-hmm.
have more people like that. They want to kind of start to put things in paper and express themselves in that kind of way, and so forth. How is the best, how and how, where and is the best place to get started, kind of thing.
I always say start with what you have. Good. You might be a person who you're just thinking about it. And start there.
Hmm.
Think more. Know that you're thinking, what are you going to put in place to start back? All right. If you were doing drawing before, go buy tools. Simple, just pencils, pen. Get a little
Hmm.
art pad, a little sketchbook. Start looking at things around you and drawing. If you're a photographer and you still enjoy taking a lot of photos, start. I'm sure you have a cell. use it.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Mm-hmm.
take pictures, themes, objects that interest you. So start with what you have. And then the next thing you will want to do is to look for someone that can help you get along the pathway. If you want
Mm-hmm.
mentorship, fine. You can reach out to me. I have no problem there. You can always find me on Creative Arts Sherridean, Creative Art Well Sherridean on Instagram. I have programs to help there. And if you find a style that, an artist that suits you, find someone that connect with and get extra training. Yes, I know we have YouTube as a resource, but I like the hands-on because with the
Mm-hmm.
hands-on, you get to be guided, and not only that, you still maintain your individuality. Going on YouTube might make your work look like someone else's style, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
really keen on you developing your own personal style. And the more you get into it, there's a fulfillment that begins to seep. There's a joy that happens. So whether you're a young person, go for it. Whether you're a CEO, I work with them. They're so
Mm-hmm.
busy. They can't,
Yeah.
they don't have enough time.
They're the
And
one
as I
who need
said,
it, by the way, but go ahead.
one day you go. You can go right now. I have a Instagram page there for CEO, people who are busy, and I work with them on their own terms, on their
Mm.
own speed. And I have one now who started her program last year, and she's part of the exhibition.
Oh,
And
wow.
she submitted about three pieces. One is a large vase, right? So we're going to do an interview together where she's going to show how she was able to develop. But, I know life could cause you to put your art in the back burner,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't want to leave something that was really designed to be part of you.
Mm-hmm.
If you leave part of you out there, you'll always feel like something missing,
Missing, yeah,
something
for
missing.
sure, for
But
sure.
the more you connect with it and make time for it, there's a greater sense of fulfillment that you will have.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I have a 6-year-old who's so creative,
good.
like extremely creative. Like if she watches something on TV, then automatically she's gonna go sit down and she will try to draw it without even looking, but that's her memory now, whatever she visualized in there, put it there. Amazing.
Yes,
And so her wall, and so she asked me to paint her wall. We had like a neutral color.
yeah,
When we came to the house, like the whole house was like a neutral color all over. So she asked me if I can paint it blue. So I took some time, I painted blue. So she is kind of she's drawing on paper and like she's spreading it all over. But
very good.
I let her do it because that's what she likes and so forth. So because that's not my room, I want her to set it up her way. But such a creative individual, and so if I try to draw something, just if I'm spending time with them and so forth, she can pinpoint and say, that doesn't look like that, and so forth. You know what I mean?
6 years old.
Yes. Oh,
Six
yes.
years
Yes.
old.
Oh, yes. Oh, no. She's really, really good, and that's
Wow.
my wife and I were saying that we have to pay attention to her because, like, this is
You
something
should.
good is happening here. When I say good, I mean really good. Like you can't tell that it's done by a 6-year-old, and this is just her whatever she's learning in school. Like, obviously, she's in
Mm-hmm.
school. And whatever she's
Mm-hmm.
seen, but she does spend. So don't get me wrong. Too, like she spent a lot of time with markers and so forth. So
Yeah,
she practices well too, right? So
yeah.
it's not like all of a sudden she started to do it. As soon as she wake up
That's
in
a
the morning and so
creative
forth,
there.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
that she wants to do something and she will get going. And I think she said to me, "Oh, she doesn't have marker. She has marker, like bins of marker. You're not gonna believe it." But
Yes.
I will go get her. Like I have no issue. She said, you need marker. There you go, right? But maybe she
Mhm.
does need it because after a while it's gonna go
Yeah,
bad. It's not gonna last forever too,
it
right?
pales. The color start to pale. Got to listen to the
Exactly.
artist.
Yeah, so
But
listen to the
what
artist. So
was,
she will
yeah,
know what she needs. I don't question. So once you say to me, "Oh, she needs marker or whatever,"
yeah,
I give her the marker.
just
Yeah.
give it.
So
Yeah,
yeah, that's
that's
awesome.
great.
So
It
listen,
reminds me of myself. I
but there
had
you
my
go.
own room.
Hmm.
I had my
Hmm.
artwork put up all over. So when I heard that, I said, she's 6.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, that's great.
Oh yeah. So she, yes, and like there's something about it that she kind of
Mm-hmm.
she loves about it and so forth, and she just put out there.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, I want you to know
Yeah.
that it was such of a pleasure to have you on the show today. You took the time to join us and share your passion for the arts, something you've been doing for over 35 years. You already made an impact. You already connect with folks and really stimulate that energy. Right? Think about that. You're in
Wonderful.
Barbados right now. You're in Barbados right
Yeah.
now, and this individual lives in Canada.
Wow.
And so you stimulate that positive energy already. And so that's something you should be proud of, and know
Thank
that
you.
your energy, because you do it, passion is not the right word. You do it sincerely. Like you do it sincerely. And I think
Mm.
it shows through, but you have that gift to connect with people, and that's just a perfect example. It's a gift, and I'm so grateful that I was able to get to be part of this as well, to not only for the interview's sake, but to experience that. When you do things, good things, when you do it for the right reason and the right purpose,
Yeah.
it really can do magic, yeah.
Amen.
And this individual,
Hmm.
it will do magic for her, I guess. And this I can share because she shared openly. She had lost her father by murder,
Ah,
in Guyana. And so she's very creative, very smart individual. So she find creative way to work through things for herself.
very good.
And so she, she's doing amazing kind of things. So she's really,
Good.
really good. That's awesome.
Good.
I'm now giving you the opportunity to say any last minute thing that you would like to say, and then we'll
Hmm.
wrap it up. But do know we'll stay in touch. I think I'm always here if there is any
Hmm.
need for anything. We'll stay
Yeah.
connected and whatnot. But
Yeah.
take it away. Any last minute thing you would like to share,
Yeah.
and then we'll leave it with a beautiful song of yours. And to folks, the two songs that we played at the beginning, it was done by our guest here, by the way, just in case if you were not able to connect the dots there, and we'll replay one of them as we wrap up the show. Take it away, and
You
anything
know,
you want to say.
the one thing I can say is that regardless of the experiences that we go through life,
Hmm.
there is always hope.
Hmm.
There are times when you feel like you're at the end and you don't know how you will make it. But if you keep getting up, if you keep thinking according to the dreams that you have on the inside, and if you believe in God and you keep calling on Him, He has a way of making a difference. A few years ago, I thought it was the end,
Hmm.
but somehow the right things started to happen. The right people came into my life, right circumstances, and here I am. And daily, I thank God for that. And I always tell people, connect with your gifts. What are your
Hmm.
strengths? Because therein lies a network of blessings that can help position you with a better mindset, you
Yes,
know, and to be able to move on in life. And because of that joy, you don't want to keep it to yourself. You want to
hmm,
spread it with others. So
of
even
course.
as we look at May, the we're thinking about mental health, it's okay. Use your gifts, improve the way you think, improve the way you feel about yourself, because you know what? Life always get better. So prepare and make room for what it is you want to experience out of life.
Amazing. I like it. Life always gets better, right?
Yeah,
You just cannot get stuck. And thank you
yeah.
for mentioning about the mental health month. So here in
Months.
Canada, we have
Mhm.
we have a specific week in the month of May, which starts next week. And
Right.
we are doing a really big event Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, to celebrate that. So what we have done, we are inviting the public to be part of that. And
Nice.
we're providing food, and we're providing gift bag for the kids, things of that sort. We're gonna have a movie there and things of that sort, and so forth. But it's worth it because we want to not only bring awareness, but we want people to we don't want mental health to be a stigma, right? Because people can be
True.
affected in so many different ways
True.
at different times. Because the bottom line is everybody will go through challenges in their lives at different times, whether that be, a
Hmm.
relationship issue, whether that be, a death
Grief.
in the family, grief,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
and so forth. And so, and it can affect you in so many different ways. Like I lost my mother, as you may have seen on
Yeah.
social media, lost my mother, and so
Yeah.
forth. And then you have like a Mother's Day coming, up and so forth, and then her
Correct.
birthdays, technically it's 2 days from now and so forth. So there's a lot of
Yeah. Emotions to go
emotions
through.
will be coming as those
Mm.
times come. So thank you for reminding folks about all of that. So
Yeah.
thank you. There's so much we can talk about, but we'll have you back on. So my dear fellow listeners and
Thank you.
viewers, as we are officially approaching the end of tonight's program, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for tuning in to the Dr. Narine Dat Show. On behalf of myself and our very special guest, Sherridean, both of us would like to join together and wish you a great today and even better tomorrow. We leave you now with a beautiful piece of hers. She also sings, she is in the arts, but in a very broad way as well too. I think that's a fair statement.
In